Good morning. We are actually out hunting for games. We never do this. We're actually out up nice and early, 7 o'clock, and we have 44 stops to make today.
Wow, that's the first time I heard the number, so that's good to know.
We are hitting up a lot of things. We are going garage selling, pawn shop hunting, thrift stores, half-price books, and we're gonna go to both retro game stops. So we have a full list. I hope we find some video games, and more importantly, find some consoles, because our console supply is very low right now. So let's get into the first garage sale. All right, so it's not been going well. I think we've been to 8 or 9 garage sales. We did pick up 3 Razor scooters, and they were free. Besides that, it seems like most of the garage sales aren't open. I don't know what's going on, but it's 9 o'clock now. We're gonna go into Salvation Army, hit up some pawn shops, and then we are still gonna go to a few more garage sales. Created a route, so this should be the most efficient way, so we'll see.
Nope.
But it's been a bit rough so far today. So we're at Salvation Army. We do have a nice little lot going right here. You can see, picked up a few different games. Nothing crazy. But we just found Superchargers. I checked price charting. I think these games are $4 a piece. $28, which I was pretty sure Skylanders are good. Found Trap Team. Make sure it's in there. It is in there. They're both in there. So on Amazon, used, it's $101. This was just sitting on the shelf. We don't know if they're $4 a piece for sure, but from what we've seen, I think they are. So I think first good pickup of the day. What do you think?
Yeah.
Should we get it? I think we should get it. I think we should get this for sure. But it's only $100. So we're gonna go ahead and keep looking. We did find this. This is the no disc version of this bundle or download or whatever. Price starting had at $10. It's $4 maybe. I don't know. We'll see what they say when I try and check out. And then Ark Dawn King Prize Fighter. I don't know if I've ever seen that. Lego Movie, and then some Connect games. So hopefully we can spend about 20-30 bucks. But profit should be pretty good, especially with the 2 Skylanders games. So we finished up in there. The games were slightly more expensive than we thought. We thought they're $4. They were actually $5 a piece. But like I showed you, the trap teams, that's going to cover the whole purchase anyways. So spent 61. I don't know, $100 profit maybe. They did charge me for this, even though there's no disc. But I don't know. I didn't want to put it back. Anyways, we're going to go on to some pawn shops next. All right, so we just finished up in Heartland Pawn. We just picked up, let's see, about 8 games, mostly PS4. And then I think we spent, $30 is basically what it came out to for these. But then we did pick up 2 Switch lights. They did $100 a piece. That's a little bit higher than I wanted to pay, but they took off quite a bit on these as well. And they did make us a deal on these. We'll sell these on Amazon. I think they sell for like $170, and then the games probably $50 profit, maybe 60. Nice little pickup, but we're gonna go on to either another pawn shop or maybe garage sale. I've already kind of lost track of the list, but we'll find some more stuff. So apparently today's, that thing's cool. I don't know what that is. That's cool. All right, apparently today's PS4 day, so we got 3 PS4 games, The Show, 18 and 20, Guitar Hero Live. We did get Black Ops 2. That's probably the best one we picked up. And then I'm working on my drifting skill, so Drifting 101. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, but I'm probably just gonna keep it. It's cool. But today's PS4 day, we spent $20, and now I think we're going to a pawn shop again. I don't know. We're going somewhere else to buy some more stuffs. Half-price books. I don't know how we ended up here, but apparently that's the next thing on the list. So we know they have games, maybe consoles, so we'll go check. All right, we finished up at Half-Price Books. We only bought 2 games, Borderlands and Hot Wheels. Their prices were very high. It's been a long time since I've been there. I used to go there when I had a coupon. It was like 15% off. That could typically make it worth it, but most of the games that we were interested in were very overpriced. They still have NCAA 14 for $100, and I think that thing's worth about like 40 nowadays. So we are headed to a pawn. Hopefully it is better than half price books. All right, we just finished up at Savers. Bunch of Wii shovelware that still we're selling on Amazon. They were $2 a piece, which is pretty reasonable, I think, for a thrift store. I don't know. I don't know if there was any of them that were that good, but I mean, 2 to 25, they're gonna take $8 in fees, so $14 profit. I'll take that. Covers the whole cost. And I found a coupon on the way out. All right, we're at Olathe Trade Post, and apparently they have a 20% off store-wide. Hopefully it doesn't mean they increase the price 20% to then put it on sale. But we're gonna go in and see what they have. I've bought quite a few consoles from here before, but their prices tend to be high. So, but the 20% off could be a good idea, so we'll go check it out. We just finished up there. We spent $390. So they weren't really willing to negotiate, but they still had some good stuff. And I think we forgot about the sale on the games. So most of the games we bought, we were willing to spend full price. So I think total after the discount was $110 on the games. So probably $130, so we got about $20 off the games. We got Super Nintendo Classic with 2 controllers, and then we did get a Quest 2. They actually had quite the variety of games. They usually do. We got everything from GameCube, PS4, PS3, Wii, Xbox 360, PS2, PS4, GameCube, 3DS. That one's probably one of the more unique titles we got, but honestly, pretty good titles. That was a decent stop. Not willing to negotiate, but that's fine. We are headed somewhere else. I think a pawn shop. There's a pawn shop pretty close, so we'll go to that one next. So we just finished up at Alpha Pawn. I don't know that I've actually bought anything from here before, maybe a couple of games or something, but we actually got a full bag of games. Today's the day of PS4. I got some deluxe edition, sports, nothing crazy. NASCAR. She gave me a really good deal. I did get one thing that's pretty nice. Also, this is pretty crazy on Amazon right now. Killer Instinct Bendy. Let's see. We did get 2 Wii remotes, which is kind of cool. So I'm going to drop something if I keep pulling things out. Born Conspiracy for $10. She just said $100 for all the games, and this was the last game that we got, and it was marked at $35. If most of the games were $10, you know, we're getting at least $25 off. But then we did get a PS4 Pro out the door for $120. It's a little bit more than I wanted to pay, but we're looking for consoles today, and we just need to buy them. So I said, what's your crazy price? And we agreed on $120. They kept the controller, but we have extra controllers, so I figured it was fine. On to the next stop. I don't know where we're going next. You guys will be just as surprised as us. So we actually finally had good luck at a garage sale. I think we've been to like 15 at this point, but I got this whole box of cameras. I don't really know if they were any good. This one's Fujifilm, Vivitar, but I paid $30 for the whole bag. Another Vivitar. I think there was a Canon. One of these cameras, this is kind of crazy, is look how small the lens is on this Nikon. That's like smaller than the size of a quarter. But I paid $30 for the whole bag. Right on top for $25, I have a Canon AE1. These are just, I mean, these are the cameras you look for. I don't know about the others. I'll put comps up if anything is worth it. So we paid $30 for everything. We got 2 of these Kids Next Door figures. These were $1 a piece. They're probably just gonna be in collection. They're in pretty bad condition, but the figures are cool. And both Justin and I loved the Kids Next Door. So we'll go on to another sale. The sales have been pretty rough, and it's starting to get a little warm out. We just finished up at Mission Pawn. Went in with very low expectations, but we got a Switch Lite. It needs a little love. It needs a little cleaning. We got a PS4. Sticks look rough. We got a Series X, so that was $500, which is honestly I felt like a pretty good deal since these retail for about $500. I would say $350 is probably fair if you were just to buy that. But then the most important thing is I buy a base because we definitely need this. But it was $79, $69. I've been wanting to just buy one because they're cool. Now we can put this on a wall. And we're gonna go to another pawn shop. Sales have been rough. We stopped with garage sales, we stopped with thrift stores. And now we're just kind of hitting pawn shops since that's where we're having the best luck. Kind of what I expected, but kind of running out of time. And we're home. We ended up not recording at the last two spots. Pawn shops were starting to close. We ended up getting quite a few consoles. Let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 3 lights, and then 2 MetaQuests, and then this. So roughly about 20. There's a 360 over there. It was a pretty busy day. We learned a lot. So the next time we do this, our route is gonna be a lot different. We had really bad luck with ChatGPT. I probably would not recommend using that to create your route. I had seen other people have done this in the past when they need to do multiple stops, and that it's worked out well. I think with a lot of these being very, next to each other, it did not do well. There were several times where Justin and I would drive by a place and we're like, didn't we just drive by that? And then we go back by, we're like, we definitely just drove by that. So like there was a Walgreens we drove by like 4 or 5 times. I would probably use like Route XL or something. I think that's what we've used in the past to help build a lot better route because it just didn't go well. Garage sales were a fail. We got these 2, and then we got the 5 or 6, 7 cameras. Oh, and then we ended up getting like, I think like these 3 or 4 360 games. And I think that was it. And we went to like 12. So garage sales were rough. We knew they might be. They were rougher than we expected. We ended up going to several that were just dead ends. Like no one was even there. Next time, probably going to cut out garage sales. I love going to them when you find things. But when you have to go to 15, 20 to even find anything. And like the Kids Next Door thing, they're just cool. And they're in terrible condition and they're really cheap. So that's why we bought those. Cameras will do pretty good. Should be able to probably make $200. I don't know the value of most of them, but just getting an AE one, like you have to buy this anytime you see this. So maybe $200 if we sell everything. I'm just kind of guessing that the other cameras will sell for $20 a piece. Besides that, we went to a few thrift stores. That's where most of the Wii games came from. And then we did actually have a little bit of luck at the Salvation Army. That Salvation Army is usually pretty barren. You're not going to find much. Last time I went there, I found like 3 DSs. 3 DS handhelds. Terrible naming. Thank you, Nintendo, for that. But then we, like I mentioned, we did get Trap Team. I think Price Running has this at like $80, and then Amazon is probably somewhere over $100. That's a great pickup. We paid $5 for it, and then we got a few other games. But then pawn shops are where we had the best luck. We kind of knew we would. Had I known we were going to run out of time, I probably would have just cut out everything and just done pawn shops. We did get a couple from Half Price Books. Almost everything on the table we got from pawn shops. So we got this from one pawn shop. That included this Switch Lite and PS4. It was $500. And then the last 2 pawn shops, we got 3 consoles from one. I would say 6. I think we got like 6 or 7. We actually got some really good deals on games there. It was kind of weird. Resident Evil 2, that one was probably the most expensive game at $15. Deluxe edition. Couldn't find that on Amazon, but we got this, was it Dreamlight Valley for $2 and it's sealed. Their prices were very fair. Deluxe edition wrestling game. Justin ended up getting Need for Speed Unbound. I already have it for $5, which is a PS5 game for that price is always a good deal. We did have an experience at one of the pawn shops. I'm not going to throw them under the bus, but we worked with this woman that was working there. She was great. She was helping us out. She needed the manager to approve any kind of discount because we asked like, hey, we're getting all this. Can we get any kind of discount? His prices were just like a little higher than I wanted to spend on them. There was a few, like this one was there, $82 for an Oculus Quest 2. We've been paying about $100 on those, so getting it for $80 is a good deal already. But we were getting 7 consoles, so we were just seeing if we could get a discount. She said manager had to approve it. So we like waited around for like 10 minutes of them kind of helping other people, which is fine. Manager had to approve it, went to the back room with someone, came back and was like, hey, no discounts, priced as is, and you can only buy 3. I don't know what that was about because they had probably another 20-ish consoles on the wall. I don't know why they didn't want to give us a discount. And I was like, okay, that's weird. Then literally we were getting a 1S from there and we look over and a cockroach like crawls out of one hole and then goes back in another hole. And he looks at me, he was like, Yeah, we'll sell them all to you, actually. Needless to say, we did not end up buying that one, and we did not buy several of the other ones because condition was already a little questionable, and then knowing that they have cockroaches, we're not going to do a deal, and you were already not willing to give us any kind of discount. Just a bad experience. I don't really know what that was about. And then the last place we went to said we got 6 or 7 consoles. She was great. Got a few games as well. Overall, I would say it was an okay day. We ended up spending $3,000 almost entirely at pawn shops, which is what I expected. We should be able to make some good money on it. You know, $1,500, $2,000 profit. We'll see, somewhere around there. Quality of stuff, I'm pretty happy with, especially the games. Next time, I think we'd change up the route, and hopefully we can maybe double what we got this past time. We'll probably do another one of these routes somewhere before Christmas. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, going a little bit different. We haven't been doing a whole lot of sourcing videos. It's been a lot of con stuff or store stuff. So if you enjoy this, comment below. Let us know that you enjoyed it, like the video. And then if you guys did like this one, you should check out this video where I bought a bunch of stuff. I don't know what stuff that was. We're out, gangsters.